guys, so today I'm going to be doing my review of the movie The King, starring Timothée Chalamet, that just came out on Netflix.
Far from gifted orator.
Which is strange, given I would have thought gifted oratory to be a requirement of the position.
Now, what I was going to say was, it was a good movie and all, but the thing is, I feel like it either should have been longer, or it should have been a mini-series, and I'll get into that in a minute. But anyways, basically the movie is about King Henry, and he plays King Henry because he becomes the king by this series of events that occurs in the movie. And so basically, it's like your typical historical drama movie. And the reason I kind of wanted to watch it, because I'm like, I did all this, like, I did a lot of medieval reading, Old English, Shakespearean type stuff in school. And I was like, it's funny because I had to write a play based on Shakespeare and all that type of stuff. So I know this movie, they were like, they took from Shakespeare, but they also took from the real King Henry story. And the thing about that is, I said, I feel like that's why I feel like this movie was too short, and it should have been a little bit longer. But anyways, so when the movie is first starting, we see the original King Henry. I'm pretty sure his name is King Henry because he's his dad. And he's basically talking to all these people about how he's gonna die and this and that. Because I think it's supposed to be, I don't know what he had, but he's supposed to be dying. So anyways, eventually, the movie goes along, and when he goes, oh yes, it's that he was going to make his younger son the king after he died. So he was like, yeah, basically he was going to make his younger son the king, and was like, I just wish that, oh no, because there was a boy that did all this stuff in the beginning, and he was like, I wish my son was like you. And that's when we cut to his oldest son, Hal, which is Timothée Chalamet. So we cut to him, and we see that he basically doesn't really care about royalty and things like that, and being like, he's just here to have a good time, basically. And so, which is funny because I said the cinematic parallels in all his movies, he's just like, I don't want to do stuff, I just want to sit here, I want to sit in this bed and enjoy my life. But everybody keeps being like, no, you have to do stuff, and he's just like, but anyways.
He was better than me. I'm sure he'd say the same thing about you.
It should be better to regret having done so than it would to have not. If your father is ill.
So we see him, and then all this stuff happens. His little brother, I'm not trying to spoil the movie, but his little brother basically goes to fight, and he's like, I don't want you to fight, I'm gonna do this for you and show you how bad it is. And his little brother's like, I want to do that. And he's like, that wasn't the point of me showing you how bad fighting is. But anyways, his little brother goes off to fight, and spoiler, his little brother dies. So anyways, and so does his dad, but he hates his dad, so basically he's like, whatever. So eventually he has to become the king, and at this point is kind of when he becomes the king after his dad and his little brother die. And basically, there's this man inside the thing, inside his, what's it called? Basically in his entourage that's like really shady, and is making him think that the French people are out to attack England. So he sets up like this, fake thing with an assassin and all this stuff. Like, he sets it all up for him to start a war with France, when in reality nobody in France was even planning anything against England. But that all comes in more at the end. So anyways, all this stuff happens, series of events happens. Then we bring Robert Pattinson into the movie, and I'm just like, I know everybody said this, but like, if he's English, why couldn't he just play the English person? And if Timothée Chalamet is French, why couldn't he just play the French person? And I said the funny thing is, they make up for the fact that Robert Pattinson can't speak French by having him be like, I'd just rather speak in English. Because I was like, is he going to speak in French in this? Because the whole movie, basically, Timothée Chalamet is talking in French. He's talking in English and French, but since he's French, they had to throw that in there and have him speaking a little bit of French. But Robert Pattinson was like, no. So anyways, so basically all this stuff happens. And we get to the final battle where they're like finally on the field, and they're like, okay, let's fight one-on-one.
Yeah, I got a chainmail coif to protect myself from the cringe, and in hindsight, I'm not even mad about it.
But Robert Pattinson's character, who is the king or prince of France, I don't know, ends up not being able to fight because the ground is too wet and his like outfit is too heavy, so he can't fight him enough.
Be quiet! I am more than all of you.
Come over here and say that to my fist!
Okay, I will. Whoa! This armor's too heavy.
So anyways, that's what happens basically, and yeah. So that was just my short summary because I don't want to say too much and spoil too much in the movie. But I said the reason I said it should have been a miniseries or longer is because the part with his wife is kind of bum rushed in there, and then the part of his partying days is also kind of bum rushed because they just show it. Each scenes are like 2 seconds long, and I was like, when it was getting close to the end, I was like, we still haven't gotten to the final battle yet, and we haven't gotten to the part where he gets married yet. So what are we doing? Like in the last 20 minutes of the movie, they swooped all those parts in there, and I was like, I knew they were going to run out of time. And that's why I said that, because like in The Pillars of the Earth, it was an 8-part miniseries, and it was good, and I think they left it off at a good point. They got as much as they needed to get in, and they fit as much as they needed. Just like also in Medici, which I think they should have either just ended on 1 season or had Richard Madden in the next season, because Medici doesn't make sense because it just time jumps about 40 years onto his grandson, and I'm just like, what? But so anyways, that's what I'm saying. They should have did something like that, but just like a 1-part, one-off, like 7 or 6-part one-off miniseries about King Henry, and that I feel like would have been really good. But rating-wise, I give the movie, we're gonna give it 4.5 stars. I call it a good movie because my mom likes it, and I feel like if she likes a movie, then it's quality movie, it's quality content. So we have a winner here. Yeah, that's really about all I can say, but I thought it was good. Like I said, I like all this medieval stuff. I watch a lot of stuff like that. Things like The Black Death and things like I said, Medici and all this stuff that's like old history-based type shows. I like stuff like that, so yeah. So I was really excited to see this, and I thought it was really good, so I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.